Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, I am super excited because we're going to react to some Chicago. Chicago, for me, is always top tier. I know what I'm in for here. Thank you so much, Gary, for sending this request. Thank you for sending me the link twice. One, a very good link, and then even one that sounds better. I wanted to explain this a little bit for people that have never heard this before. This is from the album Chicago #2, and I do have it here on Spotify, but today we're not going to use Spotify. We're actually going to use the link that Gary sent to me. This is from 1970s album Chicago 2. Now, if you didn't know, this album has I think is a double. I could be wrong, but it has on here it has 25 tracks maybe, but there's also okay. This is just like a longer version. So I'll look it up right now on Wikipedia. But there is this song that is pretty much split into 7 little pieces of music and is one long song, and this is called the Ballet for a Girl in Buchannon. I hope I'm not butchering this. And this is the link that Gary sent me. It's a 2023 Quadrophonic Downmix remaster, and that's the one that we're gonna do. A nearly 13-minute mini rock opera song cycle suite from Chicago's 1970 album. But also just for people that have never heard this before, I will mention the parts that it's split into on Spotify. So it's gonna start off with "Make Me Smile," "So Much to Say, So Much to Give," "Anxiety's Moment," "West Virginia's Fantasies," "Color My World," "To Be Free," "Now More Than Ever." So it's 7 songs. So it's almost like without really calling it a marathon, it's kind of like a marathon. The way I used to, the concept I would used to do some time ago, the marathons. This is a little bit longer, but it's shorter in time. It's not a marathon is 25 minutes, but I'm happy to do this, and we also can do it because it's Warner Brothers, so it's not going to get blocked. Warner Brothers will let us do this. Usually when you do more than 3 songs, it gets automatically blocked on YouTube if it's like UMG, or if you do 4 songs or something, or the same album. But I think Warner Brothers are cool with this. So yeah, let's get into the music again. Gary, thank you so much for choosing this, for sponsoring this, for sending me the link. I also wanted to add some information here that you provided to me here. It says, pleased that you're pleased. Wait a minute. Let's see. I think you sent me one before. It says here, affectionate greetings to Nick and Alexia. Thank you so much. Ballet for a Girl in Buchannon takes up most of side 2 of Disc 1 Chicago's second LP, a double album, as was their first. The record label Columbia took a razor blade to this nearly 13-minute epic and made 2 major hit singles, "Color My World," which you enjoyed earlier this year, and "Make Me Smile." Basically, they sold off the ring and the cake, but missed the point of the wedding. Okay, now you'll get to hear it all in context, complete with some Terry Kath's finest vocals and guitar licks, and appreciate what a masterwork this truly is. So it looks like I've listened to this before, parts of. I do not remember. I honestly, sometimes it's just, I know I've done some Chicago too, but I don't really know exactly which ones. I do have to look that up first, right? So also there's some personal stuff in here, and then also it says here, well, that he sent me a link, and then he sent me a better link. So again, thank you so much, Gary, for this. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into the music. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, please do like the video. If you like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. And yeah, all right. So here we go with the track. I have it right here. I have some windows open of other music, but here we go. Full volume, Chicago Ballet for a Girl in Buchannon. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so here we go into the new stuff. So, okay, so I think we did this Color My World. Oh, well, wait. This was Make Me Smile. So I hadn't heard that before. So Color My World, I did with Alexia. If you want to check out the video, it's on here. We did it on October 10th. This was fantastic. I don't want to, interrupt too much. I just was super annoyed because now we have YouTube Premium, and it did want to kind of like play the ad. And did you hear how it kind of like cut off and then came back immediately? That was kind of like the ad trying to kick in. I think that is so such low quality by YouTube that you still kind of like, even though you pay for premium, they're kind of like, you know what I'm trying to say. I think it's bad because it affects the reaction. I was like, what happened? So but man, let's just forget it. This is wonderful. What a great guitar solo. The horn section is always so freaking amazing. The drumming, I mean, Chicago, it's just like, it's such a high level, so let's go back a little bit because I want to really, if you've never heard this before, and I'm sure most of you have heard this before, but the from this one section to the other, I think Make Me Smile to So Much to Say, Too Much to Give. Let's listen to that again. All right, here we go. Further back. That's the one we heard. Yeah. You have to listen to the whole thing.
time goes on, I realize just what you mean to me. And now that you're near, promise your love.
Wow.
I've waited to share and dreams of our moments together. Color my world with hope of loving you.
That arpeggio. Yeah, that was engraved into my brain. Beautiful. Yeah, we never heard this. Oh, my lord. Wow.
Now I need you, oh yeah, more than ever, oh yeah. No more crying, we're together. Tell me you will stay, make me smile.
Wow. Wow. Man, amazing. Amazing. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. I love how there's like this really like fine line here between them being essentially, it is, jazz fusion. Honestly, it's jazz fusion, like rock fusion, right? It's rock music with jazz elements, and that's why it's jazz fusion. But you could also say, it is progressive rock. But isn't that like the same? It is just what it is. I think prog rock has elements of more of classical music with, like, let's say maybe Yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Genesis. And I think jazz fusion or rock fusion has just more elements of jazz. I think that's where you kind of like divide them, I don't know. But this is definitely progressive rock, at its finest, but it's also jazz fusion. But like I said, it's kind of like weird to kind of like pull them apart because they are what they are, There were some parts for, I think it was on So Much to Say, the harmonizing vocals reminded me of Yes, literally reminded me of John Anderson and Chris Squire, but obviously in their way, doing things. It was like it had that prog, of course, feel, all the time signature changes. That is what most people define as progressive rock, when it has a lot of changes in the music. And also really quickly, so this is one song, and it is the way they put it on Wikipedia or here on Prog Archives is correct. It's like, it's the 6th song called Ballet for a Girl in Buchannon. I hope I'm still pronouncing it correctly. And then it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the songs. And that's it. It's not like here on Spotify. That's just wrong, because that would confuse people. And that's why we also did Color My World by itself. If we would have known that this is like a whole like mini opera, like 10cc, like One Night in Paris, then we would have never done it just by itself, And I'm going to persuade Alexia. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to get her to do this. Not because she doesn't want to, and her back has been really getting better. She's seeing like this amazing person who's basically moving the muscle instead of the bone. When you move the muscle, then it's super weird. She's like it's almost like magic. Thanks to Lee and Mike. But I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do, since we already did Color My World, and now I did this by myself, I'm gonna try and persuade her to do this live, and then it's a different version, and because I want to see her reaction as well. When I do these by myself, I'm like, oh man, I'm sure she would have loved this, and she loves Chicago to death. I just love to see the evolution in her, from this girl who only listened to like indie rock, and she did love Radiohead and Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd was her main, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. That's when we met. Those were the two bands we had in common, but she had just a great knowledge of Pink Floyd. She knew all the albums, the later albums that I know, and she was just like, oh, that's my favorite band. And I'm like, wow, it's a rare thing to meet in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, someone who really digs Pink Floyd, because most people think it's, just stoner rock. And I mean, maybe it is, but it's not. It's just deeper than that. It's just like the lyrics, it's about the music, the solos. She was into all that stuff, and we could just talk for hours about Pink Floyd, and that's how we basically ended up, dating and stuff like that. But that's why I it's so nice to see her, like, now she got into heavy metal, she got into progressive metal, prog rock, jazz. She loves that. If you play her normal music, she'll fall asleep. She wants that, she needs that change, and she just loves this kind of stuff, So, but there was so many good things in this song. I mean, I didn't want to pause, honestly. I could obviously, break it down and call out everything that I loved about the song, but I didn't want to do that. I already paused once, and I think that was enough. to talk, but there's so many great things at the end, that almost like a little bit of a drum solo there, but just like the doo these little stops like in the music, you know. um I just don't have like photographic like memory, or I can't recall everything I listened to in these 13 minutes, but it was just amazing. I mean, I guess you could see it on my face when I was listening to it, but this is yeah, it's another masterpiece. Thank you so much, Gary, for requesting this. Um it's just wonderful. But yeah, I'll try my best, and I'm sure she's gonna say yes, but it's about right now, it's time, it's a matter of more of time. With Alexia, you know, there's so many things going on with her family and also with her personal life, and she just doesn't have the time to make these videos, you know. And even though if she I want her to do her things, you know, and I just have more time and I'm more into this whole thing, and I'm constantly, you know, playing music as well and recording, and I'm just more invested. And she's not that she's not invested in the music, but she just has so many projects that are going on right now that she just doesn't have the time to do the requests or do marathons or stuff like that. So she just does what she can, and I think it's enough. I mean, we do post mostly one video of Alexia every day, so that's almost 30 videos per month. Let's say 20, you know, to not exaggerate, but 20 videos a month is pretty much, you know, for someone who has like all this stuff on her plate. And so I just know there's a lot of people who just wish that we do all the videos would feature her, and trust me, I would love that as well, but it's just not possible, you know. So we do what we can. But hey, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm gonna listen to it right now again while I edit the video. But this was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sending me such a great link. It sounded wonderful. The volume was great. Everything was just like very clear, because you said the first link that you sent me had like, you know, this from the LP, the scratchy noise. Yeah, I didn't want to do Spotify this time because I don't know, I just wanted to have it more as a full song in my head as well, even though in Spotify you don't notice the, you know, when it cuts from one into the other. But I don't know, I just love this. Super cool. Thank you so much, Gary, for doing this, and I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know, when did you hear this the first time? Was it in 1970? Are you a Chicago fan from all the way back? What did you think when you heard this? What were you listening to? Were you listening to prog, you know, as in Emerson, like in Palmer or King Crimson? Here we go, Beat. Oh man, what a concert. Or were you more into, like, you know, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Al Di Meola, Alan Holdsworth? Who knows? There's so much good stuff we could talk about. Right now, I'm super excited. I'm going to do a reaction to Pat Martino. And I know he just passed away a couple of years ago, but I've never really listened to Pat Martino playing electric guitar. It was always like very clean jazz, very, very... one of my guitar teachers was obsessed with... Very, very funny with Pat Metheny and Pat Martino. That's why I know him. And he would play me Pat Martino stuff, but it was just very standard jazz, very clean guitar, no distortion. And I remember, and he was always talking about Alan Holdsworth. I remember, and I was like, who's this Alan Holdsworth guy he's always talking about? And he never really like played me any, because it was also very, very difficult to get the music. But I think he was talking about Alan Holdsworth as a solo artist, which is my favorite iteration of him, because I think in the 90s, that's when he started to really sound like he wanted to. Everything else, like from the 80s and 70s, is all like he's not very happy with that stuff. And I love it, but the 70s stuff is very rough. And I'm more into the 80s stuff and 90s and 2000s. That's when he just like sounded like an alien, literally. But you guys are more into this. When I say Alan Holdsworth, I think you guys think UK and stuff like that, Soft Machine. No. That's like that. Alan Holdsworth is somebody completely different in the 90s. Tone, technique, language, everything. The whole playing transformed into something way more advanced. I mean, he just like reinvented himself. That's why when I talk about Holdsworth and you guys mention these older bands, I'm like, no. We're talking about two different people, literally. But no, this is not a Holdsworth video, but check him out. There's a lot of Holdsworth on the channel. But Terry Kath, what a player, what a solo, what a guy, I mean, at that time, technique and talent, I love him. And literally one of my favorite 70s players. And obviously, unfortunately, he passed away. I'm sure this guy would have like been up there, with the top, in the 80s and 90s, but unfortunately his life was cut short so quickly. So unfortunately that we will never know, but everyone involved in this, it was just wonderful. Here's the cast, and this is on this is the highest rated album, and it's on the Jazz Rock Fusion on Prog Archives, but this is the highest the album with the highest rating on the whole of their entire catalog, even higher than the first album, within 4.18. And then after that comes the first album. Then we have Chicago, that would be Chicago 7, and so forth and so on, and then Chicago 5 and stuff like that. But you guys have told us the story that they became more commercial, and it's just a thing that happens with a lot of bands, and they have to eat, they have to sell records, to be able, and sometimes selling records has to do with being more commercial, doing less of what we love, the crazy stuff, doing less of that, like, for example, perfect example, Genesis, yes, just making shorter songs with less virtuoso, like, acrobatics and stuff. Like, unfortunately, that's what happens with a lot of bands, but again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you enjoy, click that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a dislike if you didn't like the video, and leave a comment, even if you're new. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one.